In this video, we are going to take a look at what are the different things we need to do when we are making our website live. So here is one of the portfolio of the student which is live on this URL. So what we will do, we'll go ahead and try to look at all the different issues with this website and we'll figure it out how to fix that. So the first thing to do is to understand what are the problems with this. For that, we've just opened our developer tools, and in this, we just go on network tab. I'll just zoom in a bit so it is visible properly. Now, what we will do is we'll just give it a refresh. So it will load all the details, make sure that all is selected here in the filter. And what it will do is it will load all the content for this pages, including HTML, CSS, JavaScript files, and all the images that this page includes. So here at the end, you can see that reloading this page required around 5.6 MB of resources. And that is a huge amount of data, right? Like uploading this website will take a lot of time. But now what happens is next time when we reload this page, a lot of the images from here will be cached. And because of that, it will load faster. But what happens when we load it on incognito mode? So here you can see that load time was 8 seconds. I'll go ahead and open it here. But before that, I'll just open network tab and go on the URL, press enter. Let's see how much time it takes. Now I think all the data is loaded here. So now if we want to compare these two different things, let's try to compare it. Here it is around 4.6 MB, but if we go here, because the data was not cached, it is showing around 8.8 MB. And to finish, it took around 33 seconds. And here, it is just taking around 10 seconds. Why? Because a lot of the images are cached in the memory here. So you don't want anybody to open your website that takes around 33 seconds to just load. What are the reasons for that? To understand it, what I'm doing is I'm just going on image tab and I'll just expand it. Take a look at it. What happens is, look at the sizes of the images. It is just a static page, right? Like if you want to take a look at the website, you'll see it has just basic static information. But what are the things that is taking so much space that it takes around 33 seconds to load? So major portion of this is just images. Look at one of the images, 757 kb, and a lot of them are around like 500, a couple of them are around more than 1 MB. This is not good. And this is the most important problem that we have to fix. Now, how do we fix it? So one important thing is like we need to reduce the size of the images. Why? Because it is just taking so much of space, and because of that it takes a lot of time to load. To understand it better, let's just take a look at different images. So the one of the images that this website has is a banner image that needs to be bigger in size. So this is one, but all other images needs to be very small in size because it should just be around like 200 by 200 pixels or something like that. But if we take a look at it, what is the size of image here? We'll see that it is much more than that. So here we can see that it's coming from the background here. And if we look at it, you can see the rendered size here is around 1849 by 949 pixel. But the size that we rendered is not that much, right? Like then why to render this size? So there are two things that we need to do to make this website much more faster. And those two things are reduce the size of the image, and the second thing is reducing the aspect ratio. So that is what we are going to do now. So I've opened this website here. Now what we will do, we'll just go ahead and take a look at all the images. I'll open it here. In public, we have all the images. So in the folder projects, we will find all the images. And you can see it is project 1, project 2, project 3, project 4. If you open any image here, you will see that the aspect ratio here is around 1849, but we don't need this much, right? So what we are going to do, we are just going to reduce it to around, make it like 500, not more than that, because that's what we need. Even if you can go for 600, that's good enough, not a problem. Even in that case, we are reducing around 32%. So I'll just click OK. And what I need to do now to make it even better, I don't have to do it, but what I can do here is, if you look at this image, a lot of white spaces around. So what I can do is I can just make it a bit more smaller. I can copy it, create a new image, and I can just save this. This is project 1. So I can call it project 1. You can do it using any tool, doesn't matter, but whenever you have a PNG image, it can take extra spaces, and that is what it was. It was a PNG image. Generally, you should convert it to JPEG, and I'll tell you how to convert it. Right now, I'm just saving it as a JPEG. So if you want to see what happens in PNG, you will see that it will be 56 kb because we reduce the size by itself. Earlier, if you look at the image, you'll see that it is somewhere around 45 kb, and now it is around 56 kb. But we are going to reduce the size again, but don't worry about it. Now we'll do the same thing, but this time we'll choose a bigger image so we know the difference. So project 5 is around 583. Then we have project 10 that is around 1.4 MB. So let's take a look at this image and try to do the similar thing. So what are the things we need to do with these projects? The first thing is to reduce the size. That is where we will just go ahead and make it around 600 pixel because we are displaying it in very small size. If you want to take a look, this is what we are displaying it in. So this is smaller now. Now we just need to save it. And right now, if you take a look at this image, it was 1.4 MB, but now it became 265 KB. Did you see what we did? We reduced around 80% of the size. So that is another thing. Now we can also optimize it even more. So there is a website called TinyPNG. You just open it, go to that website, and you can just drag and drop your images from there. So I have this image here. I'm just going to take it and drop it here. As soon as you drop, it will take around 265 kb images there. It will go ahead, compress it, and it will give me how much kb. Look at it. It's 67 kb. And this is the size that generally you should put it on the website. So two things to notice is, make sure that the aspect ratio that you're displaying your image in have a very similar one. Don't put a huge image just for things like displaying these thumbnails. Because this is very small image. Why do we need to have a huge one? So that is a major difference here. So try to make sure that it is small in size. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fast forward this video and do the same things for other images. So now we are done reducing the size of the images, and we can see that the size of the image is around 17 KB, 16 KB. It has reduced a lot, right? And the last thing we need to do is to reduce the size of this hero image. So if we take a look at it where it is, you can see that it's called Hero BG. So let's go ahead and search for it. So it's somewhere in the build folder, but we don't have to change there. Let's look at other places. We have it in SRC images hero. So inside the images, he has kept all the images here. So there are two images, and we just need to update this one. So again, I'll do the same thing. I'll just open it into the folder. I'll go ahead and first reduce the size. We'll look at the size first. So let's look at the size. We'll say the size is around 3890. We don't need this much. So what we are going to do, we're just going to make it around 2000 because it's a wider image. So I'm just going to make it 2000, and then I'll just click on OK. That is also reducing it around like 50% of it. Now again, I'll go on the website TinyPNG, and we'll take this image from here and we'll just drop it here. It will compress the image a lot more, that is around 143 KB. I'll download it and replace the image there. So here in SRC images, we just need to replace it here in the hero image. So I'll call it Hero BG. Done. Now we have three images, so all we need to do is like we need to change this to JPEG. So I'm just deleting the higher size image and just making it lower one. So now it is 143 KB. So now we are done with this. So we have replaced all the images and let's see what are the difference. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to build the file again. So for building this React app, we just use React build command that comes from React scripts. So here I'm just going to say npm run build. As soon as you run this, it is going to create an optimized version of this website and it will replace this build folder that already exists here. So it will take a couple of seconds and then we'll try to compare these two things and we'll see how much of difference it makes to the whole website. So now the build folder is created. All we need to do is to start the server on different port. So I'm just going to say serve. So serve is a package that you need to install globally if you want. So using this command, you can just install it or you can just use npx. So if you don't have it on your local system, it will go on the cloud and it will take that package and bring it here. So I'm just going to say npx serve. You have to serve the build folder. So we created the build folder by using npm run build and now we are just serving it on a server. So you press enter, it will start the server on some server and it will take a couple of seconds and then you will be able to open it on localhost 5000. So I'll just copy this link from here. Let's go ahead and open it here. So this is what it is now. So this is our new updated version of the website where we have updated the images and this is the original version. So let's just go ahead and try comparing them and also make sure that we are going to compare it in a private window so we know that nothing is cached and we will be able to understand it in a better way. So I will just open a new private window here and first of all let's just copy this link and go open our inspect element and then I'll go on network tab, I press enter and at the same time we'll do the same thing for the second one. So this is running on localhost 5000. This is not the local build that we are running it on. We are running the build that is what goes on to main website. So here again I'm going to open the inspect element, go on to network tab and then press enter. So this is our older website. This is the one that we have built by reducing the size of the images. Now let's see the difference. So here it was the same, that is around 8.8 MB and it took around 6.7 seconds and depending on the size, depending on the internet speed, it will take that much time. Now let's go and look at it here. Now the size has been reduced to around 397 KB. If you compare it here, it was around 4.6 MB. That is what we were loading earlier. But now we are only loading 397 KB and it took around 1.48 seconds to load. And for the first load, it just took around 745 milliseconds. Now, let's look at what are the size we have of images. So I'll just go ahead and click on filter on the images and we'll see the bigger one, the one that is on the top is around 144 KB, but other all images are around 16, 15 and very small sizes are there. But if we go and look at it here, you'll see that all the images here are of bigger sizes. So that is the most important thing you need to take care of whenever you want to make your website live. Make sure that your website is fast, because if your website is slow, nobody wants to come and visit on your website. That's a very simple thing. So from next time, so whenever you are adding images to your website, make sure it is on the same aspect ratio you're displaying it on. If it is small, make the images smaller. You don't need to have 10,000 pixel of images when you're just displaying it 600 pixel. Similarly, you will also need to optimize your images by using tools like TinyPNG that takes your PNG and reduces all the unwanted things from it and makes it smaller. And that is what TinyPNG does. You can also use other tools to do the similar things, but I think this is a very easy way to use it. You can just go and drag your images, and once it is optimized, you can just download it. So in this way, we learned about few things that we need to do whenever we are making our website live. So optimizing your images is very, very important. Few other things to take care of is also, like whenever you're making your website live, make sure that if you have multiple pages, each page should have a title tag similar to what it is here. So how it looks like, you can go on to the home page. Here it will have something like index.js, then we have app.js. Here we'll go and we'll see where they have added title. So the title is added in the public folder in the index.html. You can see it here. That is being added. But if you want to add somewhere else, you can also add it on individual pages right here itself. So that will not be a problem. So in the component, you can add a title tag and that will do the rest for you. So in this way, we try to optimize this website by reducing the image size, and also we need to write title to all the different pages.